Today we have a Hardmaxxing tier list. Let's just get into it. So, rhinoplasty first. This is going to be an S tier. This is relatively low risk. It is a little bit expensive. I think it's like around $6,000 to $10,000 depending on who does it. But it's a pretty mainstream procedure and it has a very high ROI. So this can basically fix a dorsal hump. There is a like small risk that, if you shave off too much of the bone, it'll botch it. But yeah, overall this is an S tier procedure. Brow lift. This is pretty useless. It's going in D tier. I mean, if you have negatively tilted brows, it's not that big of a flaw in the first place. And lifting it up and altering the skin around the eye can result in a botch, so it's just not worth it at all. Same thing with shoulder lengthening. This is ridiculous. This is like $100,000 to fix something that's not even facial. It's just your frame. Frame is really important, but this is so terrible low ROI. It's very risky, and nobody's gonna notice this as much as if you do something like a rhino. It's just totally not worth it. MSC plus face pulling. So just this is the MSC. Face pulling is a device where the face pulling is just attaching to the sides here and pulling it forward so the maxilla comes forward. This is gonna be a high B tier because MSC can be useful in many cases, but if your palate is already normal or wide, it's not worth it, in my opinion, because it widens the nasal base, giving you a bigger nose. But it can have some other benefits like upward rotation of the zygos, increased canthal tilt. These are all very minimal though, especially because most expansion is only going to be 6 to 8 millimeters average. But yeah, high B tier. Lafort 1, 2, or 3. This depends on which level you get because Lafort 1 not so risky, but 2 and 3 are very risky and much more expensive. So we're talking about just the Lafort, not paired with BSSO or genioplasty. This will go in high A tier because there is a risk, but it is such a life-changing procedure. Like it's more changing than it's more impactful than the Rhino. It's just the level of risk and cost that brings it down to A tier, but yeah, overall it's still a great procedure. Lip lift, this is probably D tier. It's pretty useless. It's not as this is not as stupid like this, but it's just not that worth it. Like long philtrum, not a huge flaw. There's other things you can do around it. And fat transfer to the lips can be another option. It's just not worth it at all. Orthognathic surgery. So this looks like it's talking about this picture shows a trimax, but I'm just gonna go with genioplasty for this. Genioplasty would be S tier. Um, cuts the bone on the chin, progresses it forward, just gives a more like this can be great if you already have a good gonial angle. If you have a high gonial angle, it won't be as useful, but yeah, any case where you have an overbite or just retrognathia, this will be very helpful. Implants, this definitely depends on where you get them. So jaw implants, jaw angle implants can be sometimes S tier, but zygomatic implants could be down to C or D tier. They never look good. Depends where you get them, but overall, overall these will probably go in A tier just because if you're not stupid and you do it in the right spot when it's useful, they can definitely be like so the main problem with these is the risk for infection. But yeah, overall it's got to be A tier just because of the result it gives. Like if you were to do a double jaw plus implants and you had, like recessed maxilla, recessed mandible, all that, and then you did these together, that could literally like change your life. That's so ascending. Fat grafting or transfer. So this looks like it's showing the body. I'm just gonna go with the face, but it depends where you get it again. But overall, it's just gonna be B tier. Um, I don't know too much about this one specifically, but for example, if you take fat out of the cheeks and you put it in the eyes region or lips or something like that, if you have low lip fat, that could be decent. It's just there are better options. So overall, it's just gonna be B tier. It's all right. Autoplasty is definitely S tier. This is gonna be probably here. It's just not that expensive. The risk is very low. Like it's basically no risk, and it makes such a difference. Like flared ears versus not cheap procedure. Fix it like so fast. Just fix it right away. It's not gonna be a big deal. This is definitely S tier. Fillers is D tier. Depends where you get them again, but still like it's the risk for migration. So jaw fillers might not have as big of a risk, but if you get these in your cheeks or lips or whatever, it's just gonna have a huge, it's gonna migrate. And it's a quick fix, but when you're not actually changing the bone like this, you're just injecting something into your face, this is not gonna be a good result. Canthoplasty, low A tier. If your eye region's cooked, negative canthal tilt, things like that. It can definitely change that. It's not that big of a it's like medium risk, cost medium, but yeah, it's still worth it because eye region is arguably the most important part of the face. Bone structure too, but Botox, C tier, this is not the way you should go if you have other options because it's pretty useless to me. I'm not gonna lie. Buccal fat removal, this is gonna go in A tier, probably around the middle here. It's not good for everyone. It just depends on who does it. So if you're already at a low body fat and you still have fat cheeks or puffy face, especially Asian or Latino genetics, you're gonna suffer from this probably. It's more likely. And so being careful with what you take out here is definitely important, but overall it's still an A tier procedure. Chin wing osteotomy, I think this is a newer technique, like recently came out. This is not something that's been around a long time. It's I can't put it in A because it's kind of experimental. It's pretty new, but from what I've seen, it looks pretty good. It's like you can change the gonial angle with this. You can lengthen the ramus's appearance. I mean, it's pretty versatile, honestly. I would say it's probably top of B tier if it's done correctly. It's just the risk like of not knowing because it's so new. But yeah, time will tell. It could go up to A tier. Orbital box osteotomy. This is gonna be C or D. I'm gonna go C. It can be useful. Like this is a procedure that, if done correctly, can change someone's life, but it's very expensive and the risk is extremely high, like to be botched. This is for people who generally, if you have like an insane IPD very wide, this is, I would want to explore any route before this, but if it's the last resort and it's a must for your aesthetics, then it's a possibility. It's just so risky. I wouldn't, yeah, if it was low risk, it could be A or S. Voice deepening, this doesn't change your looks. This is like, I think this is pointless. If your voice pilled, just you can do exercises or training for your voice. You can force your voice if you need to. Um, Actually, I don't think this is that risky, so I'm just gonna put it in C because if you got the money, I guess it can help, but it's still not. It's not like anything that's gonna make a huge difference for you. Again, you can fraud this easier than any of these things, so C tier. Hair transplant, S tier. Best procedure you can get in my opinion. It's safe. It's not that expensive, especially, if you go to Turkey. And being bald is an S tier flaw. It's one of the biggest flaws you can have. So fixing that with a low risk, relatively low cost procedure has to be top of S tier. Liposuction, something like moms do. You can get lean naturally. I don't feel like this is the best option. Probably D tier just because, there's so many better options out there. Like just get lean naturally. This is not necessary. Orbital decompression. Everyone knows Frank Tufano got this. He got botched. Well, he had three other procedures at once, but this is the one that screwed him up. It's probably the same level of risk as this, to be honest. You're messing with the eye region in both of them, the orbits around the eyes. So yeah, lower eyelid retraction, similar to canthoplasty. Gonna put it lower though. I feel like canthoplasty is just more versatile. This can make your eyes more hunter-like, but as you can see in this picture, even he already has a negative canthal tilt. Does the procedure. still has a negative canthal tilt. So it almost exacerbates it just on the way it's done, like with the suturing. So when you have scleral show, it closes that up so there's less of the white of the eye exposed. But there's better options like a canthoplasty, in my opinion. It's not useless. It's not going to be bad. If you get this, it can help you. It can ascend you, but not by that much. So still B tier. Jaw surgery. So it says chin wing. I'm gonna go BSSO. It's the only one we haven't talked about out of these. So in terms of BSSO, if you have a high gonial angle, it won't be as good because what it does is it lengthens your mandible. So whatever angle you have is going to be more prominent when you have it, but still it's going to go, uh, I'm going to put it in A right after Lafort. And then genoplasty up here. That's a trimax. That's a triple jaw surgery if you really want to do that like this diagram shows. But yeah, BSSO is pretty safe. I mean, okay, pretty safe. Yeah, orthodontists have been doing it for a minute. It's pretty good. It is pricey again like this, but yeah, it can definitely ascend you if you have recess or mandibular recession. So it's got to be A tier. Finally, limb lengthening surgery. I know that people like love to clown on this, put in D tier. I'm gonna put in C tier, bottom of C. It's like shoulder lengthening. It's so expensive. Yeah, this is gonna go in C. It is very risky, very um expensive. I think there's like a 5% chance you can't walk again. So why am I putting in C? It's like this, but the thing is, this is not as important. Like your clavicle width is definitely not as important as your height. So if you're like 5'6" and then you ascend to 5'10" with this, that's such a big difference. It's just got to be C because this is gonna be better than all those. Honestly, the results just much more important. If you're a manlet, maybe that's worth it, but if you're not, probably wouldn't get it. It's just, and if you're not rich, probably wouldn't get it. If you took that money and did all this, which you probably could for the same price as one of these, your results is gonna be so much better. So C tier. But yeah, hard maxing tier list. These ones, get them if you need them. Definitely worth it. Never get this. And then over here, depends on your case mostly, but yeah.